Morning everyone, welcome to Nat's Knackers Yard. I'll be Nat. This will be my second commute upload slash Nat's Knackers slash not in the garage in a week, which is unusual, and this is particularly unusual because it's not my commute, it's kind of a retro commute. I'm going back to my old site again today. Just got shit to do there, which means I've got a nice little commute. Well, I say nice, isn't it? It's, well, wrong. Compared to my central London commute, it's fucking simple. But it's just a hoik around the corner. But the reason I'm giving an upload, I had a bit of an epiphany. I think I was watching my last upload. I do watch my own videos in the guise of continual self-improvement rather than just boosting my viewing figures, and I realised I missed out a massive chunk, and it's a really important chunk on Mick, the XJ650, and it's something I did earlier in the week actually. One of the pivotal factors on the market value, bluntly, but actually on the usability of Mick is whether or not I can get it ULEZ'd, and by ULEZ, whether or not I can get it registered historic. Now, for anybody not in or around a ultra low emission zone, the historic or registered as historic is predominantly a road tax and MOT issue, because if it is over 40 years old, registered as historic, it is therefore exempt from MOT as long as it is roadworthy, but without going through the roadworthiness test, if you like. It just needs still to be safe, and road tax exemption. Now, you know, people look at that and go, oh, cheap biking, and it is cheaper, you know, no road tax, no MOT, so probably, you know, in the realms of 150 quid a year type thing. If you're anywhere near a ultra low emission zone, however, that's very different indeed, because you're now talking, if you're using it in an MOT, in an ultra low emission zone area, you're closer to £3.5 grand a year. Please don't. Oh, forgot to change gear. Too busy talking shit. Fuck's sake. Yeah, so you're talking like £12.50 a day over a year. So, you know, in the realms of that sort of figure. So, you know, it's a massive expense. So the question is, can I get Mick registered historic? Now, Mick, as I understand it, is an import. I have seen the V5 when I first got it. I do have the green slip. It was first registered in the UK in '88, but is registered as built in '80. So I think I can get it historically registered. Now, the guy that, or when I bought the bike, the guy that was selling it wasn't there. His, I'm assuming, housemates, or he's a bit older and he's got older kids, don't know, were there. They had the V5, I took the green slip, filled in all the other stuff, but crucially, and something that I strongly advise, I also photographed the V5, so I have all the numbers on it. Now, he said he was going to go online and do all the stuff. I left my email address on it so that he could put that in when he did it. He's not done it, or wrong. It doesn't seem that he's done it. You know, it doesn't normally take over a week. for the V5 to come through. So I went online last night and did it myself, and it all went through, so it didn't come up flagged saying, oh, this has already been done. I don't know if it would. I don't know if it's that intelligent of a system, but anyway, so I've done it, so I know it's at least done. It's either done by him and I've done it again, or I've done it for the first time, so that will come through. I need that to come through. I then need, and I can't remember the V number, I need to fill in a form, and slightly archaically print out the form and take it to my my nearest post office, which is just fucking mental. But then and then see if I can go through the process of getting it registered as historic. Now, if it is registered as historic, that is then me, I think, doors closed, ready for cross-trek. I think that's me good to go, and effectively, I say good to go, you know, I'll do what I'm going to do with the bike, but if I can get it historically registered as well, then that to me is the green light to do whatever the hell I want to it. What do I want to do to it? And this is where my inspiration bit came through last night. I was pissing around, looking around online, trying to find, you know, any hints and tips on sorting out this starter clutch, which from the bits that I've read and the few videos I've seen, looks pretty much to me to be an engine out job. It won't be as simple as the XS was, but it'll be engine out through the oil sump and through that way, which, you know, is daunting because I've not done that before, but also quite exciting because I've not done that before, if you follow my drift. So yeah, I was pissing around online, and I think I mentioned it before, I can't really find a worked example of how to do it. I can, there's one dude, but it is so, and I apologise for any American viewers out there, he's so American, it's really hard to follow because everything's very lavish, very shouty, very, oh, you do this, you do this, you do this, without actually telling you how to do this or this. You know, it's I don't necessarily need something dry step by step, but I need something with a better guide to it, I think. YouTube search algorithms being what they are, I failed completely, got a little bit frustrated, put my phone down, went and did something else for a little while, picked up my phone again, and one of the suggested videos was from a guy called Mesmo Engineering. I keep saying I'll put a link down the bottom. I will try and remember to put a link down the bottom, honest. I may actually be super naughty and steal a bit of his video and throw in there to see, so you can see the sort of thing that he produces, and I'll put it up here.
I hope this build has given you some ideas and inspired you to start your own project. Please don't forget to share and subscribe. Stay tuned.
Mow ride ready.
And Mesmo Engineering, if you've got any dramas with me using that bit, I'll say it's for review, because it is for a review. So that's a fucking amazing job. That is a beautiful machine, and I kind of look at it and think, that's the sort of thing I'd like to do. Now, I'm nowhere near as talented as him to be able to do quite such a good job, but I want to give it a go. So what was going to be, you know, a relatively short project, well, it obviously depends what's wrong with the bike, but what was going to be a fix and move on, I think I'm going to go deeper. Everything in the bike, rewind, and I kind of mentioned it in the last one. To get to the starter clutch, I've got to take the engine out. Just, there's no way around it. Well, if I'm taking the engine out, I might as well sort out that frame. sorting out that frame, I may as well strip out the, if sorting out the frame, I've got to take out the loom to get to the frame to do it anything like half properly. If I'm going to take that loom out, I don't necessarily have to put that loom back in. I quite like the idea of those M units. You know, would that, is that a doer? I don't know. Old time's sake. Yeah, so yeah, I think, you know, this is the inspiration upload where I've looked at it and gone, fuck it, I'm gonna do it as close to properly as I can. Also, part of that was the C's brake that I was struggling with. The replacements arrived, and I'll drop in a video here. Right, so Posty's been. This is my replacement brake. I wish I might drop up some photos from the advert actually, so you can see. Yeah, in fact, that's the way to do it. That's how it left. It was greasy. It was nasty. Mark 1 degreaser, and I thank Matt Hudson for this. Neat fairy liquid or washing liquid or whatever you use, you know. I'm not branded or endorsed by Fairy, but neat with a scrubbing brush like a toothbrush, and that's come up beautifully. A little bit of light rust on the inside, but that doesn't affect anything. It came with a rubber housing around the outside and a clip. I was going to strip this and do the whole shebang, but look at that. I'm not going to bother. That piston is in better nick than is on any of my other bikes that are considerably newer, so I'm going to risk it for a biscuit and try it on the bike. Not right now, but that's what's gone wrong with the other one. It's just rusted underneath and there's no lip there at all, whereas I think, you know, I could probably very nearly, if I wasn't fussed about damaging it, I could probably pry that out, and I'm not going to. So I'm just going to put it back together, and not tonight because it's been a long day and I needed a win today, and this is definitely a win. It doesn't even need repainting. Look, I could repaint it, make it look all shiny, but frankly, a bit of patina on a 40-year-old bike is not a problem at all, in my humble opinion. That is bangers. Right, cool. I'm going to get that rubber back on. I'm going to make sure it's beautifully dry first, and get it on so it doesn't trap any liquid underneath, because it's done such a brilliant job at keeping that moisture and road crap and everything else out. What a brilliant design. Right, cool. And there we go, all back together. You can see all the white stuff in the bottom there. I've just dropped some rust converter in the bottom there. I've no concerns with that at all. It's just surface rust. Look at that. I mean, that surface is perfect. But I just thought, while I've got it open, let's just bang it in, and it might creep another 40 years out of it. I think that's about good to go. Good to get back on. Yeah, so I've continued playing with that brake a little bit throughout the week. It's the sort of thing that, you know, it's been sat next to my work computer. So yesterday I was, you know, picking it up with a coffee break and having a think, and the silver bits on there, I thought, well, they look a little bit scrubby, so I've given them a bit of a polish up and they look a lot better now. If I remember, I'll chuck up a picture. You know, I'm not going for perfection on this, but I'm going for considerably better rather than just better. So yeah, that's it. I think you know, the update on on Mick is that I want to do it properly. I want to take the engine out, I want to sort out that starter clutch. Whilst that engine is apart, I want to paint it, which probably means new gaskets, etc, etc. Well, probably will need new gaskets, etc. I need to strip it, I need to paint it. I'm going to paint the engine, I may as well do the frame. If I'm doing the frame, I may as well do something with the loom. It's a 40-year-old loom, it's been tacked together a few times. Do I replace it? Do I try something else? Or do I just completely renovate that loom? What I don't want to do is chuck some spray on it and put it back on. I don't think I want to do that anyway. Yeah, and then go through it from that. What I also need to do with that is work out what I'm going to do for design, and that's going to be the next step.